What up, Aquarius? Woo! Well, we'll just leave that one out there as I'm already shuffling. There's already a card popping out. So we're just gonna figure out what the hell is going on, what is going on with you in regard to just life, I guess. Seeing, you know, what does December bring, and this kind of exciting phase, you know, that we are all ending another year, and what is next for us to do, and you know, just that in that regard. Seeing if you have any blockages and going from there. So welcome back, and my apologies, I did not do a November video. I am still getting the hang of this kind of YouTube stuff. I got a lot going on, and in between social media, you know, it's stuff. But anyways, I'm back, and let's go ahead and get started on this specific reading. Alrighty. Off the bat, we're starting. Excuse me. Alrighty. So, let's get started. Well, this is exciting. We have the Wheel of Fortune, and this is just the theme overall, just in regard to December for you guys. So, you know, the wheel is turning, and this is a great time, whether it's good for you guys if you're on the top of the wheel, you know, but if you're on the bottom of the wheel and you've been stuck on this kind of like, you know, rigidy ride of not necessarily having everything that you desire, and not necessarily really being exactly where you desire in terms of your goals, this is a good time to really reap the benefits with the Wheel of Fortune here. And the Wheel of Fortune is here to let you know, bringing this luck back into your life and bringing this excitement of new positive energy. You know, the ruler of the Wheel of Fortune here, we have Jupiter. So, you know, Jupiter just transitioned into Sagittarius, which is really exciting because it's now back into its home, and it's time for us all to really get excited about this great abundance that's going on, and just figuring out what the heck is going on with everybody, honestly, in general. Looking automatically at your challenges here, we have is the Four of Cups. So really regaining the stability in regard to the emotional realm, allowing yourself to, you know, even though in terms of having this lightheartedness and being open to it, it's having the ability to really find that security again, and having this nature to making sure you're paying attention to, you know, not only focusing on things that you don't have, but focusing on what you already do, and paying attention to, you know, whether it be 3 cups, 4 cups, whatever, but making sure that you're not only focused on one aspect and being one-sided and having this narrow mind focus. Making sure that you are not taking what you have for granted is necessary, because having this as your challenge, you know, it's really kind of coming to terms with, you know, being confident in what you have, and being, you know, thankful in a way, because the reason when you have that, you know, you might not feel excited or might not feel happy about the luck or the circumstances that you're going through, but you know, we have the Wheel of Fortune, karma. It's like a turning wheel of really getting what you deserve. And you know, if you are doing well on the good side, and you know, like people say, Santa's gonna help you out and bring you gifts, you know, Jupiter is going to bring you gifts of, you know, fulfillment and happiness and great abundance and all you've ever desired. But you know, it's just a matter of what you've been putting out there, what you've been throwing out into the universe. Have you been a great person, or have you been like somewhat of an asshole? Like, just making sure that you are coming to terms with what you've been doing and what your output is. And you know, it doesn't hurt to be a good person. It takes no energy, actually. You know, with that being said, moving on to the more lighter side and of your reading, it's like we have here is looking at the Maiden of Pentacles. So the Maiden of Pentacles is in regard to the material world and your, you know, regard to your home life, and allowing yourself to really regain that stability, regain that security, and allow yourself to, you know, figure out what's needed. You know, the card that popped out initially when I was shuffling your deck is the Seven of Cups. And having all these opportunities and all these options can be very overwhelming. It's a time to really figure out what you want and not remain in stagnation and feel like you're stuck because, you know, oh my God, it's so many opportunities. Like, don't take that for granted. Be very excited. And, you know, once again, going back to your challenge of really being, you know, grateful for what you have, because it's like, you have these opportunities that are kind of going to be thrown to you in this specific month, and you know they might not be ideal to exactly what you desire and how you want and project to have things, but the Seven of Cups is going to allow you to kind of pick and choose in terms of what's, you know, what you'd like to have. Doesn't mean, you know, it might not fit this very perfect idea of, you know, fitting every base of what you desire, but it's a beginning process. And I'm not saying necessarily to settle, but it's just what's going to allow you to really open up and move away from these ties of, you know, necessarily what you're lacking in life. And it's not so much focused on what you're lacking, you know, allowing yourself to feel this kind of beginning process of nurturement and nurturing aspect. And then, you know, aside from that, allowing yourself to really thrive in this element, you know, this element of really responding to the idea of securing those finances, paying attention to that aspect and looking at this from a different light and making sure that you are not allowing, you know, your pride to interfere with this aspect, because you are deserving of everything. And especially we have here is the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Wands is coming up to let you know that this is a perspective that, you know, even though right now this kind of fulfillment in the Maiden of Pentacles is a beginning phase and really figuring out what you're doing with your plans in regard to investments and how you're spending your money wisely. It's like the Queen of Pentacles, you know, taking on this realm and this reality of, you know, making your investments, but making them in a smart way and making sure that you're doing things that are going to be of nature of assistance, and don't, you know, withhold trying these, you know, risk and attempting these things of taking the leap of faith is necessary so that you can really overcome, you know, the issues of stagnation and being stuck and not allowing yourself to really move forward and move in a direction that you desire. You know, aside from that, you know, we have here is the Ten of Cups. So emotional fulfillment is on the way. It's just a matter of time, you know. It's like not really focusing so much on, you know, the narrative of just being happy. It's also feeling, you know, mentally, physically, and spiritually fulfilled and being happy in that remainder of time. You know, aside from that, for the month of December, you want to be mindful of how you're doing things and how you're progressing and which fashion, you know, with the Nine of Swords here, it's just like kind of leading to, you know, self-doom and gloom when it's all in your mind and you're thinking and over obsessing about incidents that you can't fix or incidents that you can't achieve. It's like, make sure that you're paying attention to how you're processing things and how, you know, it's a nature of really overcoming a lot of situations within your life and that kind of spectrum. Aquarius, you guys are very intelligent beings, and, you know, you guys have this ability to detach and, you know, see the world from a different way. And being humanitarians, that's a great asset to have, but also coming from a different approach to allow you to regain the stability, to regain this balance, to regain this nurturing aspect within yourself so that you too have ties to understanding this dynamic. You know, again, here we're greeted with the Four of Pentacles, and just in regard to really building up your work life, you know, making sure that you are tying in, working collaboratively with people, being open to the idea of starting, you know, new responsibilities and just being a little worker bee. That's what's necessary. It's just like literally just get yourself out there, put yourself out there. You are only going to be exposed to situations when you allow yourself to. Don't shut things out just because, you know, it doesn't necessarily align with what your vision is, because, you know, things will surprise you. Again, here we're greeted with the Four of Cups, and you just have to remember that even though it doesn't fit this pretty little picture of what you decide and what you're envisioning, make sure that you are mindful that, you know, you are paying attention to what's right beside you or behind you and what in front of you. This is in the realm of understanding that this is already around you, that you have a prospect to have what you desire and to have what you want, but it's just a matter of time to really get that, regain that option, and really, you know, not feel the need to feel restricted so much, you know. Aside from that, you want to make sure that you are, you know, with the Four of Swords, again, another four. This is stability. Seeking and grounding yourself is needed. So if you have time and if you happen to, you know, able to go outside, go hiking, go around a river or an ocean or whatever it is that you live by, do something that's going to allow you to ground yourself. Speak your truth. Be open about it. You know, this Four of Swords is in regard to, you know, speaking of freely, of communication, and just not being conflicted in regard to, you know, how you're feeling and what you're going into. Allowing yourself to express this harmony and enjoyment and come from a way of, you know, a new wave of excitement and opportunities, so that you can really, you know, when you're greeted with these opportunities and when they're handed to you, you know, don't feel that you can't accept them. Just be mindful of how you're doing it, and, you know, in due turn, your great abundance of, you know, finances are going to come to fruition, and the Queen of Pentacles is on your side. You have to do what's good for you, and you have to focus on yourself in regard to fulfilling your needs and making sure those things are met in order to really be fully capable and fully honest with yourself, of honoring yourself and understanding what's going on. But that sums up this reading specifically for December. I will be back to give more information. Just make sure to, if you don't already do so, like, comment, and share, and subscribe to my channel.